Alright, if you've never seen our website, here's a brief glimpse. This is an intro to our Halloween glow-in-the-dark. We call them glow-in-the-day ghosts. There's a story behind that, but I'll keep this brief. The idea is we do a lot of gadgets and gadgetronics, and these were just really quick and easy ways to 3D print glow-in-the-dark ghosts. So over the last day I've added this page for how we came up with these glow-in-the-day ghosts, and there's some detail here, but more detail is excuse me, on our blog page. So we'll go to the blog page, and while we're here, the picture looks familiar, right? And it started with these glow-in-the-dark skulls with some black lights in the desk lamp to replace the regular bulbs. But you'll notice here, selling our home of 20 years, packing up decades of memories. There's a reason why there's a Halloween theme here, and why this is going ahead of how we made our ghosts. We bought our the other house, we call it, that was our home of 20 years, and we bought it 30 years ago. On Halloween we closed, and the new owners, 30 years to the day later, just closed today. So we sold our home of 20 years 30 years later, and it's not that it's haunted or there's anything supernatural there. It's just a very memorable date to buy a house on. So with that, I'll give you this brief intro into how we made our half-pint glow-in-the-day ghosts. We're going to call these videos rough cuts, and this will be the first of a series of them. I'll create a playlist called Rough Cuts. And it's because we need a new intro, and we need a new trailer or outro, whatever you want to call it. But rather than sit on years worth of videos that I've been waiting, if I only had it now, let's put these out there, see what people think. If they like them, then we can work on the intro and whatnot later, tack those on and put them back into the mainstream folder, if you will. But for now, we're gonna make you some glow-in-the-day ghosts. So without further ado, enjoy. Alright, so real quick, forgot a couple things. First, if you're looking for the video, follow the YouTube button, and that's exactly why we need a new intro video, or intro for our videos. If you're looking for it, it will be under playlist. I will be adding a rough cuts playlist here. The other thing I forgot to mention is I'm going to call this video the So-So Halloween Ghosts, because I say so many times. You could easily make this a drinking game. If you hit your beer every time I say so, you'll be drunk in the first 10 minutes. It's that bad. I can't stop myself. Anyway, enjoy. Have a drink on me. Alright, we'll see how this goes. I'm absolutely amazed at how long these have been running. These have been on for 2 days now on the same battery. I roughly calculated they'd have maybe a day, so I guess I overestimated how much current these things draw. Basically, I say these things, I mean, a strip of LEDs
basically what's inside of these guys, which I'm going to show you how I did it, is a strip of 4. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but there we go. So let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you do that, it fits in there rather nicely. So then the next step is to solder a tail on there, and I thought I had one, but I don't, so let's grab one. In case you're wondering what the batteries look like, this is a 65-40-65, which is 6.5 millimeters tall, thick, whatever you want to say, by 40 millimeters wide by 65 millimeters long. So yeah, this says 2000 milliamp hour, so that's 2 amp hours. And I think the rough calculation I did was there's 4 LEDs, let's say 20 milliamps a piece, times 4 is 80 milliamps, that's 0.08. Times 12 gives you 0.96, which is roughly 1. So 12 hours would be an amp hour, and another 12 hours would be 2 amp hours. But I obviously miscalculated, because I'm going on 48, if not 60 hours on these things. So anyway, back to these are some of the connectors. So here's what I'm looking for, and here's a pack I've already got. So we'll go from what I've got, and won't open the new pack yet. Maybe. Anyone else have this much problem with these Ziploc things? I wish they would stagger the height so you don't have to sit there and, if your fingertips are always sanded smooth from working with things all the time. Oh my goodness, I can't even get this out of here. What the heck? Well, I don't know why I keep that separate. I mean, it's got the squishier insulation on the wires, and let's see, these are all battery end, so I guess I will have to break into this stash here. Well, that's not the end of the world. I'll just order more. So yeah, what is this? Here, let me put my goggles on so I can see what I'm doing here. Actually, Alexa, turn on Office 3. Alexa, turn on Office 3. Oh, guess she heard me that time. So, oh, looky there. I didn't have the light on at first because I wanted you to see the glow. So let's, while we're talking about it, move these guys out of our way over here. Whoops. Oh, that was just a piece of trash. Basically, you can, I don't know, here, let's see if I can get this close enough. And you can see a little scissor symbol there. You can take scissors and snip these. Every place you see one of those can be good. So what that was a piece of, I don't know if you can see, in between this LED and this LED, there's this whole thing, like they could have put another LED but cheaped out. So I got the lower density ones. But oh, my print's done. I'll have to check that here in a minute. So anyway, quit saying so. Erica says so buttons on my underwear. I can't even say it. What I want is one of these. So that, what did I do? There it is. Fits this rather nicely. But now, as you can see, Oh, nope. As you can see, I'm blind. The ridge is there. So when you plug this in, this is one thing to make very sure of. Make sure that the red, the positive lead coming out of the battery matches up with the red positive lead coming out of this. I've had a batch of these to where they were backwards. Wonder why nothing was working, and all of a sudden the magic smoke was let loose. Anywho, alright, so the next thing here, I mean, you can see I already started there. So let's see here. I'll show you how I do it on one here. And I'm being kind of lazy doing it this way, but again, so let's look. Oh, if I don't stop saying so. I don't know if you can see how the grid pattern is on the. I told it to do 5% infill, which makes those cells open way up. Otherwise, they're very close knit. So on these blue ones, I don't know if you can see the difference. Hopefully that's showing up how close that is. That's 20% infill, that's 5% infill. And before I short circuit something, let's put this off to the side. Well, it's this guy. And now we drill. So I'm going for the there's a diamond of 4 going for the back one. If you put it too close to the front, you can see the actual LEDs, each individual LED. So whoops, well, that should be good enough. Now we'll take the rapidly, oh my goodness, no wonder it can't cut. It's got a big notch out of it. So let's snap what's left off. See what we got left. Not much. Anyway. How's that go? Cut towards your buddy, not towards your tummy. Yeah, just be careful, because this, depending on what color and what filament maker you go with, this can be very brittle and crack. This is only 4, well, the bottom has 4 layers, which, let's get all the, come out, oh, it's stuck in there forever. It made its way in. So there's what we're looking at, just enough of an opening. Come here, please. To let those slide right in. Next, we're going to go through the back here to make room for this connector. The nice thing there is it snaps right in. Don't know if you can see, there's just ever so slight groove in the thing that when I have it shoved in there, it feels like it snaps in on that. We shall see. This is where it takes a lot of whittling to get. I'd go faster, but once this thing catches, you know how a drill is going through steel. Once it catches, the whole thing goes circling with it. The other thing is, the faster you go, the more it wants to melt the plastic. Did you hear the crinkle? So now you can see going through those walls there. Going to hollow the, or yeah, hollow. It's already hollow. Waller this out. Loud noises. Hopefully that's close to where we need it. Oops. Well, that ain't gonna hold it. Will you go back in there? Probably not. Oh my goodness. Now this is where I throw one of those test patterns from days long gone of television, experiencing temporary technical difficulties there. Now, alright, let's see about making these corners square. I hope you can see this. I hope it's in frame. This is one of the first times I'm shooting with my camera set up on an arm way above the workbench, so I don't have to hold it or do things one-handed. We'll see how this goes. But, okay, cut towards your buddy, not towards your tummy. Yeah, whatever that is. I'll have to look it up and put the, the little asterisk thing underneath, like, oh, here's what you really meant. Kind of a, anyway. Let's see if this will work. Oops. Well, if I get the wires to come through. Alright, so. That's close. Looks like this corner, these top corners need a little bit more. Yeah, these top corners, yeah, need a bit more work. Let's just make all the corners squarer than they are now. Yeah, I really need to grab the new knife out of the drawer here for the next one. If you're wondering why I don't just put this in the actual STL to begin with, it's because my son sent me this STL file that he found online elsewhere. We were chatting about it, how what was it, AliExpress, and then I've got like Banggood. Both of them were offering ghosts that were already printed that like had supposedly candles for the you can pretty much see what he's doing there. He's flipping you the bird with both of them. Once you get down below, what is it, 0.2 millimeters, below 8 thousandths, you're talking it's thinner than the line, it's finer than the line of plastic. Okay, you saw how I pushed that in there? There, it kind of snapped in there. It was one of these. This is full size, and what I did is I said just make these half size. So we'll get to those maybe, or maybe those will be a different video, but you can see here that's where this 9 LED thing fits. And I think what I'm going to have to do is put one of these, well, now that I bent it and it's not straight, put one of these going in 4 directions. Oh man, it's lost forever now. Don't worry. Remain calm. But anyway, put 4 of these, 9 each for 36 LEDs. We'll see how long that lasts on one of these batteries. But again, it only lights up part of this, so you really need it going in all directions if you want it to glow in all directions. That's all I know for now. Back to the back to the show. Next thing to do is crop these back, and I'm going to have to pause this because I forgot to fire up the soldering iron and get my cleaning sponge wetted and ready to basically tip clean. I can draw the tip over that, and the steam basically steam cleans it every time I go to cradle the soldering iron in the, I don't know what you call it, the little ring thing. Let me see here. Hang on, I might have the, yeah, so if one of these things, right? You put this slots in something, and then this sits right in there. Except on my soldering, it's a Weller station. It actually has one built in. So what we're going to do now that I've gone through all that, I'm going to crop these back. Whoops. No, that went way over there. That's new. So I got to be careful. For some reason I managed to get my finger in there, and I don't know if you can see the little cut that I managed to slice right into my finger with these. So I'm going to be real careful this time. I'm going with the 26 gauge. Give it a little strip. Oops. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm shaking. Oh my goodness. Afraid I'm going to do it again. Alright, come on. Stop messing around. Alright, there we go. Now it's stripped. I'll have to tin that, and here's the, oops, maybe. Always something you have to do first. So, give you an idea what this is going to look like. These are going to point forward. These wires are going to solder onto those pads, but I think you saw I may have to turn the light off, but you'll see there's the UV. I don't know. These are hard to see. Alexa, turn off Office 3. Oh, there you can see a little better how that's working. Okay. Alexa, turn on Office 3. But yeah, so what we'll do is we'll snip that right there, and then we'll tin those pads there. We'll tin those wires. We'll set that in there, and then we'll just curl those over and solder them. Maybe, hopefully, kind of, sort of. Let's see. Turn this off. Get the scissors out. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. So right about there. There's that one. And we're going to cut off the excess for the next one. There. Hello. Hello. Come on, fumble fingers. You can do it. So there's that piece that fell on the floor I was talking about. It's basically trash, so in the trash it goes. Yeah. Alright, let me bring you back once I got the soldering iron up to temp, and we'll go from there. Bring you back. Alrighty. Sponge is wetted. Soldering iron is hot. Oops. Ripping cords out everywhere. Taking the drill bit out for now and moving the drill out of our way. Moving the drill out of our way. So, I say that word one more time. Let's go ahead and get these tinned up. And okay, I was over at the other house, and there's a whole long story associated with that statement. I will boil it down to as short a story as I can. But it deserves to be told, so you know what I mean when I say the other house. When we first moved over to the Orlando area, we bought a home we absolutely loved and made it our... We bought a house we absolutely loved and made it our home. And we lived there 20 years before we moved here. So I'm just gonna give this a little heat, a little solder, just enough to tin those strands so they're not looking like a haystack when you go to do something with them. And next I will need, actually, I have a holder right here. So let's do that. There's that word again. In any case, we moved out here more than 10 years ago. And the other house was in the Wekiva Springs area, kind of a upscale. We bought the house because of the size of the lot, a little over half an acre, that was wooded on both sides between us and the neighbors, you know, as much as you could. And then behind us was wooded down to the pond. We had enough of a view. It was a beautiful view. And when Ann saw that, she says, I don't care what the house looks like inside, we'll buy it. So, there's that word again. We did. And we raised our kids. I had motorcycles that I recreated, so you can see here. Let me kind of briefly squish that, kind of crimp that. Hopefully you saw that and my big fat finger wasn't in the way. Now I'm gonna, whoops, sweat that in place. Did it move on me? As long as it solders to that blob, and it moved on me. Dadgummit, that's the only issue here. Yep, come on, yes it did. Alright, let's see here. For Pete's sake. And I would say something different, but is that going to be enough? No, it's not. Of course it isn't. Alright. Now you can see how fidgety this is. Let's see if I can get out of the way. Shove this up under there to where it's close enough that, nope, it's just not going to cooperate, is it? Alright, let's do this. Let's see here. Alright, figures. I did 4 of these already without a hitch, but of course this one, because I'm trying to trying to film it, is going to give me fits, isn't it? Can you please just go there and stay there long enough for me to reflow those two together? Alright, let's see here. Do I have the heat? No, of course it's gonna move on me. Why wouldn't it? There. Alright, enough belly aching. Looks like I actually got that one landed. Let's see if I have better luck on the negative or the ground side here. You can do it. Okay. Got it to crimp there. Will it stay? So, back to the story. There's that word again. Long story short, we love that house. And when we moved out here, it was out of necessity. We had planned on taking our time remodeling the place, but we had a bit of a plumbing issue at the other house, and that kind of forced our hands. So you can see how I just kind of hid that in there. So now the big test. And the whole moral of the story is this strip of solder here was one that I had taken from this spool of solder ages ago and was still in the corner room. We listed that house for sale and we got an offer on it, and if everything goes well, knock on wood, we close October 31st. It's, I don't know how better to put it. It's almost like it was meant to be. We closed on that house 30 years ago to the day, October 31st, Halloween. If these folks and everything goes well, again, knock on wood, close on October 31st, they will have, to the day, bought that house 30 years later, and with the same needed some TLC. I'll put it that way. For in our case, the owners unexpectedly had to move to California for his job, and that left the house in a state where it was unoccupied and maintenance hadn't been done and things needed done. So did I? Yes, I did. I don't know if you can see that. The connector's a bit misshapen. So let me see if I can pull that back out a little bit. Get that back in shape. That might work. So you get the gist of it here. You plug the battery in. And you plug the battery in. You plug the battery. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Well. Push the wires back through. Push the connector in there. And I might have to do some manicuring here of this. I hope you can see how I'm struggling with this. But the idea was, if I had designed this, I would have designed this part into it, and there we go. I think that's good enough. We'll turn the light off, and no, it's not. I probably just pulled that and ripped those wires loose, didn't I? And this sure isn't going the way I expected it to. Let's troubleshoot. See what's going on here. Pull this out without ripping it loose, did I? Yes, I got plus on plus and minus on minus. Let's see what happens if... I sure hope it isn't that the battery's dead. That doesn't seem like likely. Oh, well, always helps if the pin isn't bent to the side. And this will probably break now. Yep. It'll be about the speed of my projects. Just when you think you're done, oh, you get to start over again because something broke. Alright, well, enough whining about things that do happen. Let's do this. Give me the itty bitty. Bend that way. Now bend this way. You can do it. That might work. All this. There, I saw it light up. I don't know if you did or not, but there's the idea of it. Let's pull the battery out some. We'll get a little bit of lead there. There it is, glowing. There it is, nice and glowing. You can see the thing here. It still kind of glows once the light's out, but let's see if I can get this. Nope. Alright, while we're doing this, might as well show you why you should make sure this fits perfectly before you put all the wires in there and then slice them doing it afterward. Sound effects are free. Sound effects included. There we go. Will you please go away? I guess you won't. Is that it? You see what I mean? How each one of these different plastics are unique. There, that looks much better. Nice and square. Alright. I'm going to turn this off so when I plug it in you can see it light right up. Sure, it's going to light right up. It's going to light right up. There it went. Those things are a bit fumbly. So that's what I was looking for. Is these are, they're pH 2 millimeter. I thought they were XH, but they're pH 2-pin pH 2 millimeter 22 gauge. It says, and I was using a 26 gauge stripper and it worked fine. So they're lying to you and kind of shortchanging you on the wire. And they're JST, they're standard JST. Oh, you probably can't even see that, but anyway, I'm gonna get in here and see if I can. I guess that's in there straight as it's gonna get. You can see the shadows that it casts because of the crisscross, the infill pattern. But it gives it kind of a neat little, why is it glowing like that? Spooky look. So, here, let me turn this other light out. There. You get the full effect. Hope I'm not giving you vertigo by going around so quick, but you get the idea. So, and there's that word again. Oh, I don't see anything. What are you barking at, puppy dogs? Oh. If you thought getting the thing to plug in was hard, try getting it to let go. There. Mischief managed. So there you go. Now we have 5 of these bad boys that'll glow on demand. What I'm thinking about doing, now that I put those away, let's get them back out. What I'm thinking about doing is, there they are. Since I have so many extra male ones, we'll just make individual pigtails into one harness to where then I can just have a one battery connection for like 4 of them, whatever, share the power. That's the thought, and I think I'm gonna have to come back to the, oh, for Pete's sake, get in there, snap, thank you. Gonna have to come back to these big guys. I need to figure out what I may do is similarly put pigtails on 4 of these to where they connect together into one of the shrouds there that comes out the back. That way you can feed all 4 of these in, plug them into one single what do you want to say, pigtail connector there, and just, we'll see. Like I say, that's going to be a separate video. I have other things I have to do,
like sneak around at night and get a picture of all my half pints. I have to be quiet because everyone else in the house is asleep. I don't want to get the dogs stirred up and barking. You can see I need to do some camera adjustments here. The glow is just blasting out the camera. I turn on the light in the kitchen to see if that helps, but you can see the purple one just looks like it's glowing blue, and the green and blue ones look like they're just glowing like an aqua blue. The skull candelabra, I don't know if you can tell, the eyes look more red than the orange that they used to, and I put a purple filtered neon flicker bulb in there, and it really works well. On the white half pints, I didn't get a video, but what I did was put a amber candle flicker LED in there, and it does a pretty good job. But you see the 4-way cable, that one's plugged in and that one's off a battery. So there you have it. This is our happy Halloweeny setup. We're going to call these segments the rough cuts. We're going to call these segments the rough cuts until we can get a new intro and trailer set up for these. Until then, enjoy. We'll see you next time.